reproach. Now let's read this again. In that day, seven women are going to share one man, knowingly share one man. Okay? And they're going to say, we will eat our own bread. That means we will support ourselves. We don't want you to support us. We just want you to be with us. And we'll wear our own apparel. We're going to dress ourselves. We're going to provide for ourselves. Okay, it says, only let us be called by thy name. Just be my man. Just to take away some of this stress off of me. Just to give me a man, to have a man in my life. Isn't that amazing? I was talking with a relative of mine that lived in Atlanta, Georgia. And he told me that and it's amazing how he quoted scripture. He said there are 7 women to a man out here. It's amazing that he made mention of that, because that is biblical. 7 women sharing a man. Why do you think that a situation would be where 7 women would share a man? Well, let's think about it. As a result of what's going on in many communities, our men are dying off. Street gangs and all this stuff. We don't have much of a selection of men. And then you have the men that are, okay, if they're not dead or dying, out in the streets, and you might as well say that they're dead if they're caught up in gang activity and all that, because it's just a matter of time before something's going to happen. So if they're not dead or dying, some of them are in prison. Some of them are gay, which we read that was an abomination. Some of them are just deadbeats, parasites, unemployed. I don't want to say so much really uneducated, simply because through slavery we've been taught not to think. But some of them will not even work. Some of them aren't even trying to work. They would rather just live off of women. And a successful or wise or business-oriented woman is not going to deal with that. No dead weight. They're doing nothing but pulling her back, nothing to launch her forward or propel her forward, but just dead weight that is holding her back from running that race. Have you ever tried to run a run with weight on your back? Like you have a backpack and it's got about 100 pounds in there. How fast do you think you can run? The average person can run with 100 or 200 pound weight on his back. You'll tire out in no time. But when you get rid of that 100, 200 pounds of dead weight, you'll be able to roll on down that road. You'll be able to sprint down that road, no problem. But it's only getting rid of that weight will you be freed up to do that. So this is how 7 women are ending up dealing with one man. I remember on the job I retired from, I met a young lady I knew had a snake mentality. 5 minutes of her coming around conversing with me, but I was trying to help her to understand some things, and she just was what she was. You can't get upset with a snake for being a snake, especially when you know that they're a snake, okay? But I just cut the person loose, because some people you just have to know they are just full of what they are and just leave it alone. But I remember once she expressed an interest in a young man, and I said, well, isn't he married? And she said, well, what that mean? And I said, well, that means that he's somebody else's property. And that means that if you are talking to him and you're treading on somebody else's turf, that's what that means. That's a lack of respect. And she said, yeah, but that don't mean nothing. And so eventually she ended up becoming married. As a matter of fact, a guy that I was dating, she even started pursuing him. So she was just out there. But she ended up getting married to a guy. But now I'm wondering how she feels about another woman, and dealing with her husband unless she still lives that same lifestyle. So you do have some people that don't mind being with the man who is with someone else. Now, the unfortunate mishap of my life is meeting men that claim that they're single and available, and you end up that they're and you end up finding out that they were liars and deceivers. But that's between them and God. So, but it's out there. Now, I would rather be alone than to share a man. But some people are okay with that. They're okay with having a man that other women will spend time with too. I don't know how they can be at peace with that, but or how that works. I don't know and don't really want to know. But understand that when you get into that type of lifestyle, there are different things out there that can ruin your life. Because if he's seeing that many women, and that many women are probably seeing other men as well, they're probably dealing with him and somebody else as well. Why? Because they know that he's doing what he wants. So after a while, they'll probably do the same, get them another man on the side and all this stuff. Now you got all these different multiple partners, and it's like a tree branching out more and more. They having all these different mates, seeing whenever they can see one another and all this stuff. Well, now you got the likelihood of diseases arising. The more partners you have, the more chances there's gonna AIDS or whatever is out there, you're gonna be susceptible to. Okay, so that you 9 times out of 10 are gonna end up catching or being plagued with. So understand that this type of lifestyle, even though we know that this does exist, where multiple women will share a man, especially if he's fine and successful. Fine meaning, eyes, beauty is in the eyes of the beholder. So one person's fine may not be another person's fine, or, whatever, so fine is defined within your eyes, within your mind, within your heart. You might think a big, bulked up, Hercules-looking man is fine, and somebody else might like a tall, slender build. Some people might like a stock build. Everybody's different. So whatever your fine is, okay? But I'd rather, in my opinion, I'd rather live alone than to be sharing somebody. And that's just my logic on that. Everybody's different. I'm not trying to say what anybody else should or shouldn't do, but this is biblical to show you that this is what is going on. Because our men are few. And because our men are few, a lot of us have degraded ourselves to take on a man that is married, dating a woman already, or whatever. And they're okay with that. But this is happening. Okay? So anyways, alright, I'm going to really end here for real this time. I just wanted to show you a few extra scriptures that just kind of out of nowhere came to mind, just to kind of let you know, to give you even a more, to give you just a more information to know who the Hebrew Israelites are. Single-parented mothers out there, that it's a norm for their kids not to even know or have their fathers in their lives. It's unfortunate, but it's a part of the curse. It's a part of curses. I mean, I thought that I would have been married, and I did not become married. And I desired to be married and right in God's sight. Fell in love with men that I thought would be in my life for life, and they turned out to be liars and deceivers. This happens. This has happened with the Hebrew Israelites, but it's for a reason. It's a reason why that happened. So, and it's a reason, and as we go into Deuteronomy, we're going to read all of the curses. And we already know, even by the scriptures that I just read about being scattered and different little things that would happen, we already know who the Hebrew Israelites are. But when we read Deuteronomy 28, which you can go ahead and read on your own or however, but I'm going to read them as well. And we're going to talk about it. And you're going to know at the end who the Israelites are. Okay, so I'm going to end here. You be blessed in the name of our Yah God, in Yahushua's name. Be blessed, and when I come back on the next video, we will be talking about the curses of Deuteronomy 28. The blessings are from 1 through 14, but the curses are from Deuteronomy 15 through 68. And that's what we will be reading and discussing, and then we're going to go into how to reverse those curses, where it is written how those curses are to be reversed. And then we're going to be talking about some other things I said I would be trying to discuss, just for you to know some things. But now you understand why a lot of things have been happening. We've been under a curse. Okay, so tune in with me next time, and we're going to go over the curses of Deuteronomy, and seal exactly who the Hebrew Israelites are. And it definitely is not the people who we have been brought up to believe that it was. It is not, those are not the Hebrew Israelites. We're about to crack open the ice. So you take care, and we'll talk next time, or I'll be talking next time. Be blessed.